The Glute ham developer, also known as the GHD machine, is used for a wide variety of exercises that focus on strengthening the endurance of the hamstrings, glutes, and lower back. In this video, we will highlight on the history of the GHD machine, the parts of the machine, and also have two demonstrations of exercises that we would like to focus on, which are the hip extension and the glute hamstring raise. The glute ham developer originated from an exercise that can be credited to athletes in Soviet Russia, known as the glute ham raise, or GHR. The GHR, which was performed on a pommel horse in front of wooden stall bars, was a part of the Soviet athletes' training regimens, especially amongst runners, including track and field athletes. The execution of the exercise focused on hamstring development, which assisted in preventing hamstring injuries commonly found amongst this population. During the 1970s, the GHR was introduced to American weightlifters in an article in a popular magazine. American weightlifter Bud Carnegie was the first American athlete to recreate his own version of the GHR model using the images of the Russians' innovation, which can be seen in the top left image on the screen. In the 1980s, Dr. Michael Yeses traveled to the Soviet Union after gaining interest in Soviet training programs. During this time, Yeses and Soviet athlete trainer Yuri Verkhonovsky teamed up. Interest for the Soviets' GHR model peaked for Yeses, and what followed is what we know and see in gyms across our country. Dr. Yeses teamed up with Polaris Equipment and created the first polished model of the GHR machine, which we can see in the bottom center image on the screen. Yeses can be credited for the popularization of the GHD machine. Recently, many adaptations, such as knee pads and handles, have been adapted to newer models, which is shown on the top right image, but the concept and simplicity of the execution of the exercise remains the same.
Okay, so this is a GHD machine, glute hamstrings developer, and the parts of the machine include the handlebars, a thigh pad, a knee pad, foot ankle rollers, and a foot plate. There's also a stepping plate down here, and you can adjust the height to the client or athlete on the foot plate, sideways or front to back, and height wise, top to bottom. You can also adjust the height of the knee plate depending on the type of exercise that you're doing. Extension workout on the GHD machine, and the position for this workout, you want to make sure that your feet are placed firmly on the foot plate, and your thighs will be centered with the thigh pad. The hips are going to be off the edge of the thigh pad. And for this exercise, you want to hinge at the hip. Start by crossing your arms across your chest and lowering a few inches. Make sure not to round your back as you go down. You want to work your way back down to a 90-degree angle at the hip. You also want to not hyperextend your back as you come back up. The sticking point on this exercise is when you come back up as you move from an eccentric face to a concentric face. This is a glute hamstring raise on the GHD machine, and for a beginner you can use a resistance band to assist you, or you can use weights for an advanced athlete. The positioning for this, you're going to place your feet firmly on the foot plate. Your knees are going to be at about 45 degrees on the thigh pad. And as you bend down, your thighs will come up center on the thigh pad. For this exercise, you want to cross your hands across your chest. Make sure you're not hinging at the hip, and come straight down, keeping your body straight from shoulders to knees. Work your way down to 180 degrees or parallel to the floor. And it's very important not to hyperextend your back as you come back up.